The Brethren of Chaos podcast.
Hello?
Hello. Anybody want to guess what voice that is? So, usually Callum enters with his intro.
Yeah, much more natural, fluid intro than this one.
I haven't got anything to say. But today's episode, we have Matty as our guest. Callum is nowhere to be seen because he's... what is it?
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional. Is that what you're going?
That's what that's what I'd say.
Oh, well.
He's missed one now.
Well,
That's
he told me I had the sniffles.
Yeah, he said that to me, but he also said he'd been up till 4:30, so
What? 4:30?
I have no sympathy.
What? Okay, I didn't know that.
No. I didn't until about 4 o'clock today when I texted him, which is lucky.
So he can't make it today. I presume he must be asleep then by now.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Get his rest in. He might make it for the next one. Terrible.
So we're joined by Matty. We're going to talk about some myths and legends.
Yeah, some mythology.
But first of all, Matt, you've been mentioned on the podcast a few times.
Yeah.
Definitely by me when I've been saying about... usually Callum asks what I've been doing on the weekend.
And I
Or what
pop
I've been
up
doing
every
in
now and
you
again.
pop up because we're always going on walks.
Yeah, fucking around.
Pissing around in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, well, I was going to ask you, what did you get to on the weekend, though?
This weekend, it was Champions League final,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
it?
final.
Which was...
I heard you had a mad story about the taxis.
Oh, yeah. So, well, essentially, Liverpool was absolutely fucking rammed.
Yeah, and you're at Aintree.
We were at so we went to Aintree, watched it, it was boss, to be fair. Like, the setup they had there was like a giant screen outside.
Yeah.
And then, so, like,
how many people were there?
I don't know, maybe like 1,000 or something like that.
Oh, that's
maybe.
a good crowd.
I think I'm really bad at trying to guess numbers
How
of
many
people.
heads are
yeah,
there?
exactly. But I think maybe like 1,000.
How many legs were there?
Well, I'm gonna guess
2,000.
2,000. Well, no, I think that. So there was quite a good, decent turnout, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then there was a few bars, so like, sort of scattered around, and some food places and stuff like that. But it was all outside, which luckily it was a good day.
Ah, yeah.
So
It was
we
good
went-
weather, wasn't it? It wasn't like
Yeah, no,
it wasn't raining.
No, it was all right. It was just, fucking red smoke everywhere, people letting off flares and that.
Big
But the
flares.
atmosphere was genuinely quite good.
Yeah.
It was a good day out, went there, had a few beers and that. You should have seen getting there, though. Getting there was mad. The trains were, like, queued out of the stations and like, off the platform, because he said, like, the platforms were filling up. And then they had to get the trainers. They couldn't let any more people in.
Yeah.
Or risk, like, obviously people getting fucking pushed onto the tracks and stuff.
Fucking hell. What, that was just all Liverpool fans?
Yeah. Well, I think so, but a lot of people seem to be going out, like, they seem to be queuing up on the wrong trains and this stuff like that. I don't know whether they were trying to get to Aintree and just couldn't figure it out how to do it.
Where do we go here?
Yeah. So we went there. That was quite good. And then afterwards, we were trying to get home back to Rainford, which is a nightmare at the best of times.
What time was? Because so basically you rang me, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I was asleep. I was wiped out.
Yeah.
I was wiped out.
I think I rang you at 1, did I?
1 was it?
Yeah, I think it was like 1 a.m, something like
Yeah.
that. Which, to be fair, I thought you would have been wide awake at that point.
Usually I would have come and gave you a lift.
Caught you on a bad day.
I was probably in me REM sleep then.
Yeah, but so we. So it was me and my brother, because my brother was going to leave at first, and I was like, I'll stay and have a couple more bevies. And then he was like, all right, son, I'll go and get an Uber. So I was like, well, text us when you're in the Uber, let me know like you've got home and that. And so about 40 minutes went by. Me, Dom Day, ended up doing karaoke like in the time that he'd gone. And like, so we were like waiting, we did karaoke, come back, had a couple of pints, and like he'd been gone this entire time and not texted me. So I rang him and I was like, have you not got a taxi yet? Yeah, he was like, no, like the Ubers keep coming, but then they keep like just going somewhere else. As in like he's put down that he wants a lift, and then they're sort of diverting and going to other places and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh fuck. So then I was like, I rang you.
Yeah.
I thought you and me late night option. Steve's definitely awake, so I'll ring Steve.
Go-to.
Yeah, we'll be sorted then. And then that didn't happen. So then I was like, oh fuck, we're literally gonna get stranded here. So I had to ring work, like ring me mate. I was trying to work out the shift pattern in my head to who'd be on, like drunk, well, half drunk at least, trying to work out who'd be on. Like, thinking, oh, who is it? And then I was like, yeah, right, Sam. Like, sort of guessed who it was. And then I was like, I'll just ring them. If it's not them, I'll apologise.
Yeah.
So I rang him. I'd got it right.
He was on his shift.
He was on his shift on nights. So I was like, are you busy? He was like, no, I'm not like mad busy. Why?
I'm on my shift.
Yeah.
I'm working.
Yeah. Any chance of a lift in the van back to Rainford?
Fucking hell.
He was like, all right then, yeah. So he come and pick us up in the works van.
That's fucking class there. I suppose if you're working on the shift, night shift, you'd hope for a call like that though in a way.
Well, it gets you. I mean, it gives you something to do, but at the same time, you're like, oh shit, I've got to leave site now for fucking however many.
And people won't notice.
No. Well, as long as nothing goes wrong, if something goes wrong, then yeah.
Yeah. Where is he?
I know. Yeah.
Taxi driving.
Exactly.
Rainford.
Yeah. He just does a little bit of moonlighting on the side. So
yeah. So that was taxis are absolutely atrocious, aren't they?
At the minute, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It is horrendous. To be fair, you used to just get like overcharged like mad if you went back to Rainford. Like they'd say like, oh yeah, we'll do it for 90 quid or something like that. But whereas now it's literally, they just won't take you.
They just straight up refuse.
Yeah,
have they got a shortage of taxi drivers or something?
They did, because I think a few of them went to like a lot of them. When nobody could get out during COVID, they still needed deliveries doing, so a lot of them became like delivery drivers and lorry drivers and stuff like that. Yeah, but it pays well. But I mean, lorry drivers now are making like 70 grand a year.
Fucking, and you don't have to deal with drunks.
No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you have to do some serious driving, but you don't. Yeah, like you say, you don't have to deal with the fucking pissheads like me. 3 a.m. Yeah, time you on till, pal.
So you made it back, and then Sunday you hungover.
Sunday, yeah, hungover. Didn't fancy going out to the parade because I felt a little bit rough.
Yeah, sleep it off.
Yeah, so I didn't really do much Sunday, and then Monday, Monday, Tuesday, I've just been sort of recovering, going to the gym. It's been all right the last 2 days. I was going to go for a walk, but I was too busy.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I was in the Lake District.
Yeah.
I finally did me overnight camping in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Which was an experience. I think it's just class. Just
Good.
like literally pull up, put the covers on the windows.
Yeah.
And you're sorted. But where I went was that...
Rhino's Pass. Yeah.
So for the listeners... It's basically, how would you describe it? It's like, it's a bizarre place, isn't it? It's in like a valley.
Yeah.
So me and Matty have gone there before, and we walked, was it Crinkled Crags and Blisco, Pike of Blisco?
Pike of Blisco and Crinkled Crag, was it? Something like that.
And there's like a tarn in between them both.
Yeah, I think it's Red
Quite
Tarn.
high up.
Yeah, I think Red Tarn, but I think there's multiple tarns that are called Red Tarn, so I'm not 100% sure. But it's off, I can't remember what the river was called now. It was like a beck or something like that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. It's something like Gilwater or something. I can't remember.
It's a good place though there, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was nice.
High up as well. But this Rhino's Pass basically is like a single lane track. It's not even a road.
No, yeah.
It goes through the valley at pretty high. It's pretty steep.
Some sharp drops.
Yeah.
on either side.
Either side. But when you get to the top, it opens up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And basically, where we parked the first time, there's like, they're not even laybys, aren't they? They're just like just open bits on the side of the road.
Yeah, I think just where people have left the cars over time, it's just sort of made it into a bit of a car parking.
So that's where I parked up there, went for a run, 18 kilometres I did.
Fucking hell.
I ran past the tarn, up Crinkle Crack.
Yeah.
Then I was going to come down and go, up Blisco.
Yeah.
But I thought, no, I'll save that.
Yeah.
And I'll go on. So the path goes through the middle of them both, doesn't it? On the low point.
Yeah,
You got the Crinkle Crag on one side and Pike of Blisco on the other.
Yeah.
And the path goes through the middle.
Yeah.
So I got back onto that path and ran down into the valley on the opposite side.
Oh, yeah.
Like you keep going. Did you tell me you walked that?
I think we walked near there. I don't think it's in that valley, but I think if you carry on past that valley, you get to Pavy's Arc, which is like a popular...
Is that one where it's like an arc?
I don't know. It doesn't really look like an arc, I don't think. It's just like a sheer sort of face with a tarn and big tarn at the bottom. I can't remember what the tarn's called.
Yeah.
But it's got one of the sort of most notorious scrambles in the UK on it. It's called Jack's Rake.
Oh, I'll have to do that. Fuck me.
It's a good one, but it's like, I'm not great with heights, but that's scary.
That's a solid one.
That is very steep. That. And then there's literally sheer drops off the side. Like you're on an exposed ledge like walking up along the sheer face of it.
Yeah, so it's windy. It won't be enjoyable.
No. No, as long as the wind's blowing the other way, then you're sheltered by Pavy's Art. But yeah, if it was blowing at you, you'd be
no bueno.
No, yeah, it wouldn't be enjoyable. I don't think.
Well, I did that. I ran down that path into that other valley.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it Greater Langdale or something like that?
Great Langdale, yeah.
I ran into there.
Yeah.
And I realised I'm just heading outwards here. There's no real way back because it's in another valley. There's no, like, you can't just run back. So I had to head back on the path, right back up. And by this time, I already did, like, I went quite far into that valley.
Yeah.
So by the time I came back past that Pike of Blisco, I was like, no, I cannot do this.
You're knackered.
I was already fucked. They'd kill me off if I went up to this one. So I just ran back to the car. But that was 18 kilometres. Longest one I've done so far. That was, like, fucking solid.
Yeah, I mean, that's some serious mental fortitude to keep going for, like, 18 kilometres.
The thing is, though, I think it's well easier on, like, when you're doing it in that terrain.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do 1 kilometre on the road.
On the road?
No, I don't know how the fuck do people do it? Cars and people and everything.
I think you could, obviously you could definitely do it, but obviously for you, it's just not enjoyable doing it. You just get bored, maybe. Yeah,
there's something about just being off-road.
Yeah, that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did that, and then I got back, set a fire up on the, I don't what's the rules about having campfires in open. Some places say you can't.
Yeah, it tends to be don't have open flames, especially if you're in like an area where there has been wildfires. Like a lot of the Peak Districts, they don't want you to have.
It's already been scorched.
Yeah, exactly. So they kick off there if you've got camping stove. So yeah, if you've made a fire, they probably won't be happy.
I get you. Well, I made a bit of a little fire in between. It was in a big rock. It wasn't on the ground. It was in like a bold like thing within a big massive rock on the side of the road. This
is the thing as well, is obviously you've just got to be smart with it. Like if you're doing it on the grass, where it's going to leave like in a big massive black burnt patch, which people like look and think, oh, for fuck's sake, somebody's had a fire there,
someone's having an effigy.
Yeah, exactly. Then obviously people aren't happy. But I think if you've just had it sort of on a rock, then
I think made some cooked some beans and sausage. Heinz beans and sausage.
Lovely.
Straight to bed. Woke up and they fucked up not big time, but I messed my legs up. This is why I didn't play football on Monday, why I wasn't.
Oh yeah.
But I was already tired from that run.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the morning and I was like, I'm going to make use of being here. I'm going to go on another walk. I want to like go on an easy walk.
Yeah.
To loosen my legs up. So on the left hand side of this Rhinos Pass in the valley.
Yeah.
It's like a ridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a long ridge. I can't remember the name of it.
It might come to me. I think I know the one you're on about, but because it's got a few peaks on there. I think it's near. Is
that near it on the?
I think that's on that side, but I don't know whether it's the closest one or whether it's further along.
Yeah,
I think.
But from the ground, from the car, it doesn't look that much of a walk, and I've seen people scaling it just straight up.
Yeah,
walking straight up. So I was like, it doesn't look that far. Maybe 20 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
So I got onto the path that leads up, but this path was winding. It didn't just go straight up.
No, yeah.
It fucking took like an hour. Walking, like, winding around this ridge, and I got to the top, and I was completely wrote off. I was like, I walked a bit down the ridge.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so done it. My legs are, like, falling off.
Fucked.
So I basically just walked straight off the ridge, like, into the drop and straight down. I was like, if someone's seen me, just stumbling down this ridge in like a straight line, and then I basically went off the ridge in line where my car was as well.
You literally just going as the crow flies then.
So I went straight off the ridge into this, it's like nearly a vertical drop.
Fucking hell.
But you can just about stay upright.
Yeah.
And I just walked straight down and hit the car at the bottom. I was like, footless. Went and had a load of coffee afterwards.
That is like the 5 Ps, isn't it?
But that was by Monday, yesterday.
You were alright again?
I couldn't play football.
No,
Cal was messaging me. I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
My legs are just done. I think
I fucked up.
You know when you feel like if you like, because Carl was saying, when you do a good blast, sometimes it's good to do another blast. You feel primed and ready.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes it's almost as if you've got like a pump in your legs and stuff like that. Whereas sometimes they just feel like,
oh, this felt like it would have done worse. It would have been injury.
I think it depends how quick the DOM sets in.
Yeah.
Like if that, like I think sometimes that pump is like if your muscular soreness hasn't set in yet, then
you just
like,
ride it instantly.
Yeah, it feels quite good, yeah. But as soon as that sets in, you're like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that.
Footless.
Yeah, they are actually fucked. Which side did the sunrise come up? Did it come up the road? So were you looking back down the the road? Did it come that way?
It came that way, yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's class.
It was good. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I might go. I don't think I can go this weekend, but I might go next weekend.
That's not a bad shit.
Well, not next, but sometime soon.
I was because when I googled it, because you asked me, didn't you, what the road was called?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it.
No, so I found it on my watch and then googled it because I could only see the town on it. I couldn't see what the road was called, so I was like, right, I'll find what the road was called. Googled that Rhino's Pass, and then it was coming up with like all. It was like one of the most dangerous roads in Britain, like how people have died and stuff like that, and how like. And it's a really big popular sort of cyclist thing as well. Like it's a challenge
a big challenge.
Get up to the top of it. Yeah. I mean, I think it was a challenge for the chimney at a few points.
Remember when in the other chimney when we did it, we drove up to the top, and like the chimney was like it had this bad smell.
Oh yeah.
Like we got out, didn't we? And it was like, what the hell is that smell? It must be in the clutch when something burning.
Yeah, you'd burnt something out.
Something was burning.
Was hot, like, yeah.
Luckily this time there was no smells.
No, it was all right. It's a new upgraded chimney. That's why.
That's it. Perfect. But yeah, that's you'll have to bring your tent sometime soon, and we can.
I know.
We'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll sleep in my car.
I know. Well, this is it.
Pitch up somewhere.
I can get up a bit higher and sort of have a little go of like a solo camp.
Yeah.
Because I have been toying with the idea, but I'll be honest, I am a little bit scared of it. Because I've been obviously wild camping with my mates and stuff. Yeah. But there's something like it is eerie
in the middle of nowhere, high up.
Yeah, like it's not even like you're scared that someone's going to attack you.
Some mad.
You're just thinking of all mad creatures.
Some trolls.
Yeah, some sort of weird monster that's I'm not messing.
A big goblin's going to appear. No, I know what you mean though.
Because it's not like when you're in the dark at home or like or if you're walking home at night or something like that, and there's ambient light everywhere. Like you're in the middle of the Lake District, there's no ambient light anywhere. Like that's why it's great for seeing the stars and stuff like that. Because there's no light pollution. But it's literally a different type of pitch black. Like you go outside and you can't see your own hand in front of your face. It's that dark, and then
you know as well that there's nobody else around.
No, like it's so quiet, which is great. Obviously, when you're walking in the day, it's like that. You know, you can't hear a thing. You're like, oh my, there's not even birds. Sometimes it's really peaceful. It's sort of bizarre just to sit there and listen to it when you're used to at least having some sort of noise, whether it's road noise or whatever.
Yeah, some background noise.
So then you've got like it's completely dark, like you can't see anything. Then there's no sound apart from maybe like wind whistling, but then that makes other weird sounds. And then I've heard noises and stuff like that, and it's been like sheep that have been near the tent and stuff like this. What the fuck?
Yeah, that must, like any animal.
Yeah.
Like must fuck you up. You hear the sound of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what the fuck is that?
Yeah, you're like, hang on, that shouldn't be up here. So yeah, it is a little bit creepy. It's not too bad when you're with people, but yeah, I haven't sort of braved it on my own yet.
Well, I'll be in a car just at the below the pipe that you sleep on.
Yeah, so if you hear a scream in the middle of the night, you can just come up with a torch.
See the remains of your body.
Yeah, exactly.
A ripped open tent.
About. Oh well, at least he tried it.
Fair play. Okay, so we've got some mythological legends to talk about. So initially, I don't know how we do this. We just say I picked a load of epic stories. Yeah. And you would tell me some good stories.
Yeah.
That you've had.
Yeah.
And Callum messaged me as well his stories because he did do.
Oh, he's done the research.
He's done the research.
All right. Well, maybe I was a bit harsh before. Not completely unprofessional.
So he sent me a script to read out.
Oh yeah.
Of his so we'll read that at some point as well.
Yeah.
But do you want to start with your story, Matty?
I can do. So I think the whole reason that I sort of have like been getting into this a little bit more, I tried listening to Stephen Fry's Mythos. I got like an audio book of it. And
what, is it like a book?
Yeah. I need to read it because I tried listening to the audiobook when I was going to work like a while, like I think it was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
But I just can't do it in the morning. Like I have to get up and go to work like 6:30 in the morning. That's no, I have to be in for 6:30, so I have to be up early. So you drive in early, and then like there's something, music wakes you up, whereas an audiobook, I feel like it's too easy just to sort of drift off.
Drift back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I need to stop this. So, but I was listening to that Mythos, and then I'm reading Troy by Stephen Fry at the minute.
What? So, and it's like literally Troy.
Yeah, it's the story of Troy, but it's got so much more in it. And until then, like I sort of thought I knew a bit about it, but most of what I thought I knew was based off the film.
Oh, I get you.
Which like obviously changes bits and all the rest of it.
Brad Pitt and who else is in it? Is Orlando Bloom in it?
Orlando Bloom's in it. The guy, what? I can't remember what his name is now.
Banner. He played Hulk at one point.
Yeah.
Eric Banner.
That's it. Yeah. He's like one of the best characters in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's quite good in that.
The main part of that film I remember is where he like, I can't remember who. I think it was Brad Pitt faces some like fucking jacked like
giant,
and he like just runs up and just stabs him in the neck.
Yeah.
That's the only bit I properly remember from that film.
Yeah, I can't remember what the giant's called. It might be like Baraglius or something like that.
Yeah, or some Greek name.
Yeah.
Some fucking kebab name.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's but to be fair, it's a class film, so I've been reading little bits of that, but
that's a fucking top thing to be reading, that of all like stuff you can indulge in.
Yeah,
like, I feel like I want to read it now.
I'll lend it to you once I'm done. You just need to give me a year.
Yeah,
I'm like slow reader, so. But I feel like one of the hardest things when it comes to mythology, whether it's Greek or Norse or whatever it is, there's so many names, especially with the Greeks. Like they literally had like family histories and heritage and all the rest of it. So like Stephen Fry sort of explained this to you as you're reading it, and he's going, basically, don't worry too much, don't get caught up too much about the names. Just try and remember the stories.
Yeah,
take the story interesting. Yeah. So I probably won't know a lot of the names, but one of the most interesting stories was sort of the story of Zeus.
Yeah.
And because
this is what you told me, didn't you, beforehand?
Yeah. So like basically before the sort of gods that we know now, so obviously Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, that's them, the sort of gods that everyone thinks of when in the Greek world. There was the Titans. So Kronos was like the leader of the Titans.
Yeah.
But I think basically the story was there was gods before them. So Kronos was born to I think his mother was Gaia, which is like the
like the world.
Yeah. But then I think Kronos killed his father, but he basically was cursed. And he has this curse on him, and the idea is that I think his father told him before he died that his son would kill him.
What?
Or his child. I think it was just child. Don't think it was like gender specific. Just said you will be killed by your
child.
Yeah. And so basically Kronos got his wife pregnant. I think his wife's called Rhea. And so they were together, and basically he got her pregnant for the first time. And so they had I can't remember exactly the order in which the gods are, but obviously one of the gods we know today, Poseidon, that sort of thing.
So that's where they came from.
Yeah, so their mother and father was Kronos and Rhea.
Kronos and Rhea. I definitely know the name Kronos.
Yeah, well, I think there's been a few films. This is the thing about Greek mythology, and I think mythology in general, is there's so many modern day references.
Yeah.
And like they're literally just stories that were told back in the day.
Round campfires.
Yeah, but they all have like a meaning, and like.
Yeah, you can take something from it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think they were supposed to be lessons.
Yeah,
it was how they used to teach people and
kids. Well, actually, like religion's basically what it is, isn't it? Where it's come from is
the same sort of principle.
It's just like how to live your life.
Yeah.
Meanings and taking stuff from it.
Yeah, things you can apply to your everyday life, but told in a more interesting way.
Even though, I don't know, some people take it too far.
Oh yeah, I suppose that's like anything though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get obsessed with anything, but yeah. So basically, so Kronos and Rhea, so they had the first child. She got pregnant, and then they had the first child, And then as Kronos was holding it in his hands, he basically flashed before his eyes the story his father told him, the curse.
Oh, the death of him by his child.
Exactly. And so he ate the child. Ate the child. So
what?
So he swallowed his child, his first.
After having this vision, he's holding him.
Holding it in his hands, and then gets this vision. Oh shit! This might kill me eventually. So I'm just gonna swallow.
I need to do something about this.
Yeah,
he's not messing around. This guy.
No, just pure impulse. Just thought I'll swallow it. That's it. And then bizarrely, they went on to have more children. Obviously, I think there was maybe 6 or 7 gods in between. So they went on having more and more children every single time. Kronos would swallow the child.
He's devouring his kids.
Yeah, exactly. So devouring them so that he can't be killed by them. Yeah. Until
and his wife's thinking.
This is the crazy bit. I don't really know what she's thinking, because I mean, surely after 2 or 3 you'd be thinking, oh, hang on a minute, I know what's going to happen here.
Something's not right here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
I'm being used here.
Do I have to go through this again for him just to fucking eat it? So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what was going through her head, but basically, the 5 or 6 or something like that. And anyway, so Zeus was actually the last one.
All right.
Which is strange, because obviously Zeus usually is portrayed as the oldest god, as like the king of gods, and so you'd think he's the firstborn of them all, but actually he's technically the youngest. So it gets even more confusing in a minute. Don't worry. Yeah. So basically, what Rhea did was she ran off. I think to the nymphs. They keep popping up in Greek mythology.
Yeah, I've heard of their names as well.
The nymphs, sea nymphs, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so she went to them, and then they went to a cave to give birth to Zeus, where the father wasn't around.
So this time,
it took her a few goes, but finally she's clocked onto the fact. Yeah.
Kronos isn't being around this one.
Yeah, exactly. I might change my tactics here. So she sneaks off to this cave, she gives birth, and then she gives the baby to the nymphs, and it's like a tribe of people in I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's like this sort of, stereotypical paradise place, where Zeus gets left and things like this.
Yeah.
And so, but there's like a few cool sort of little bits about it. So like, to hide the cries of Zeus, because he was obviously a god, he's powerful, he had a powerful cry.
Powerful cries of baby.
Yeah. So like, this tribe would like beat the shields, to mask the sound. So obviously Kronos can't hear that. You can just hear these people beating the shields. Just thinking, I'm not going to think much of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, obviously he wants to inspect the baby. So she takes him a rock covered in like baby's garb.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't think so. He doesn't look, doesn't inspect it. When he holds it, this baby's a bit heavy. What weight's this? This baby's a bit sharp.
The density of rock.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this one's a bit heavy. I feel sorry for you this time, Rhea. But and so he gets it, swallows it straight away. So in his head, he's sitting pretty.
He's got rid of it.
Yeah, there's no, the curse isn't going to come true, at least until he has another child, and then he'll just do the same thing. So meanwhile, Zeus is sort of being left to grow up, and he's like a sort of young, strong. He's growing fast, and one of the reasons for that was he gets left with, I think, something called like, it's either like the Amalfi ghost or Amalfi goat or something like that. And basically, he sucked on the milk of this goat, and it was like this. It made him like super strong.
The goat's milk.
Exactly, but it was like some magical goat, and it made him strong and all the rest of it. And sort of like a reference we have today that you've heard is like cornucopia. You hear it in like things like Hunger Games, where like all the stuff is in the middle. Cornucopia.
Is that where they are? Right.
So basically, where that comes from is Zeus was wrestling with this goat. As he's getting older and stronger, he snapped one of the horns off by accident, and so that horn, when he snapped it, the story goes is that like the horn was filled with food and drink, and it never ever ran out. So
I see.
that's why it's called like the cornucopia. So that's why, like for instance, in the Hunger Games, all the stuff is in the middle. That's why that's the cornucopia, because it's filled with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool because there's like quite a few little sort of
I was gonna say,
modern references.
There's probably loads, isn't there? You know, if you look.
Yeah, from Greek mythology, like we've learned so much from these stories and things like that that's still relevant today. And so anyway, so he's grown up strong, all the rest of it. And anyway, he gets to the age where he's thinking, I want to do something about Kronos here. I want to, I want to avenge me siblings and he's like young and strong. So anyway, a goddess, I can't remember the name of the goddess, but a goddess comes to him, and I think she's one of like the older gods. Maybe she's a titan or something like that.
Yeah.
And basically she wants to help him for whatever reason, to his sort of surprise, because he's not really had any sort of dealings with her before.
Yeah, and she's out of the blue.
Yeah, she's popped up, so I think she might have had like a little, maybe a dislike to Kronos.
Yeah, she's had something gone wrong with her.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's ate some of her kids or can't be trusted for babysitting duties.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like leaving your kids with Prince Andrew. So
Prince Kronos.
Yeah. So basically, she comes up with this potion. She makes this potion, and she gives it to Zeus and says, ask him to drink this.
Yeah.
And so he goes to Kronos. Obviously, Kronos doesn't know who he is and doesn't know he's his son. And he gives him this potion. He says, drink this. It's like a delicacy from where I'm from. And he doesn't question it, because in his head he's invincible. It's like, because obviously he thinks he's at all the children. There's no children alive that can.
Oh yeah, nothing's going to affect him.
Exactly. It's like the whole Macbeth sort of invincibility.
Yeah.
State of mind.
Yeah. And
so he drinks it, and basically one by one starts throwing up the kids that he's swallowed. And which is where it gets confusing as well, because Zeus was born last, but because the others got swallowed, they're basically in reverse order of age. So like Zeus now is the oldest.
Oh, I see.
And so,
these new are classed as new ones. These ones that have been thrown up.
These ones that have been thrown up in the reverse order from what they've been born.
Yeah.
So essentially, Zeus being the youngest, Zeus is now the oldest. Whoever was born
first,
second to last, is now the second oldest.
Yeah, I get it.
Whoever was born first is now the youngest.
The youngest, yeah.
Which is obviously, it's a bit strange.
Must have been something in it.
Yeah.
Something lost in translation.
Something, yeah, exactly. And so, well, that's basically the sort of changing of the guard. Then is like that's sort of, I think there was a war between like the Titans and the gods. Then, now that Zeus was reunited with his brothers and sisters.
I see, yeah.
And so that was essentially then like the change in the guard. And I think there's a hell of a lot more involved in it. Obviously, that battle is like a whole nother story in itself, because you had like all sorts of giants and cyclops and things like that.
Proper battles.
Oh yeah, big time. So
yeah, you know when your fucking cyclops turns up to the wall, like shit's going down.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's. I just think it's an interesting story, that one.
Oh yeah. So you said like all these stories have like meaning and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
What would you take from that?
Well, I think the first one is Kronos essentially is created an enemy of his son. He's basically brought the curse or the prophecy on himself, which you see in a lot of films and things these days, because he's been told you need to go and you're going to be killed by your son. So he's thought, all right, well, I'll kill all my sons. But by doing that, he's created the enemy in the first place. So if he would have just left it, would it have come true?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. He's created it himself.
Yeah,
almost. So, I see what you're saying there.
I think like that you can sort of interpret that a few different ways. Sort of don't act out of fear of what might happen.
Yeah.
What's
the other? Like he's got too big for his boots. He thought he was all clear.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same thing as like Macbeth. He's thought he's this invincible person who can't be touched, and then obviously.
Drinking, what was he drinking? Some
potion, that some goddess had made, and so that was his. His undoing in the end.
And that's the first story of Zeus.
Yeah, so that's...
So Zeus is like the one, isn't he?
Yeah.
The G.
Exactly.
The Greek G.
Exactly. You say Greek god and he's the first person that comes to mind.
And that's his, like, his birthing.
That's his Marvel origin spin-off.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I get you, yeah. And what's that thing called? The horn thing? The cornucopia.
The cornucopia.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet there's so many fucking things, like, you won't even realise in, like, modern day stuff.
No.
That's like a link
to
ancient Greek mythology.
Well, weirdly, I went to, when I was in Italy, we visited, like a Roman villa that was still standing. I think it was near Lake Garda when we went there, and basically it was like a sort of a ruins of a Roman villa. It was a massive site, and they had pictures on the walls of I don't know whether it was mosaic. I can't remember now whether it was like a mosaic or something like that. But they had some sort of art on the wall that depicted like a horn with things spilling out the top. And so I was like, oh, that looks like the cornucopia, and then read the sort of plaque below it, and that said that. Yeah, exactly. So like even because Greek is different to Roman history and sort of mythology, they have different gods, things like this. And yet that is something that's transferred.
I think the Romans kind of like stole Greek, didn't they? And then made it their own.
Yeah, they changed parts of it, didn't they?
Took it and then, I don't know, repainted it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there'll be loads and loads of different references.
It's like Homer out of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
He's named after Homer who wrote the Iliad.
Yeah.
And Homer means like the everyman.
Yeah,
because they say the Iliad, the main story of all the Greek mythology, was like the story that everybody talked about.
Oh, yeah.
So they say Homer was everyone.
So he's the average...
the average person.
The average man.
He's like the average... I suppose it sums up the average American man.
Yeah.
Some fucking fat, dumb, bald guy.
Don't eat it.
Really, I hope there's no Americans listening. Nearly every episode there's a dig at these Americans.
Yeah, you should have come to expect it. You know what you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all these fucking god stuff's powerful, isn't it? I feel like I want to go to war. Run into battle.
There is a lot of battles in them as well.
Yeah, it's all like they're all ripped. That's when I imagine them as well. They're all ripped.
Yeah,
as well, fucking jacked.
Yeah, that was how they were depicted, wasn't it? It's like I mean, that's literally where the term like he's got a body like a Greek god or Greek goddess, or that sort of thing. It's like.
Well, so do you know like a bit of the family tree of Greek mythology? There's Zeus. Well, there's Kronos and.
There's Kronos and I think Gaia. But it gets so complicated because not even just that, but so obviously based on who was like basically breeding with each other.
Yeah.
It depended on what sort of creatures they made. So like it wasn't all just.
Oh, you're not about people in par, eh?
It wasn't all just human Greek gods and goddesses.
I get it, yeah. There's all sorts of
creatures.
Hillbillies turning.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, sea nymphs and things like that. So, I think it's one of the things that was really hard to follow along with was that.
See, I know, like, I can't name any of the... I'll probably name a few, but like, I feel like when you were naming some then, I knew the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know them from loads of stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, some of the gods and, like, obviously Poseidon's one of the most famous,
the water dude.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's like his UFC title. Poseidon, the water dude.
The water dude.
At 185. But but they had I think there was like, but then this is the other thing weirdly. So like I think a lot of people would know like the god Ares and things like that.
Yeah.
Like the god of war, but he was actually the child of Zeus and maybe Hera or something like that. I can't remember that now.
Ares.
Yeah, so like they're essentially not from the same. They're not the original gods. They're the sons and daughters of the gods. Obviously, they're still classed as gods.
As gods, yeah.
They're not demigods or anything because that's like a whole different subsection. Then
is that like a human and a god or something?
Yeah,
a demigod.
Yeah, or I think sometimes it can be like maybe like a nymph or like a lower creature than a god.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always necessarily have to be humans.
I get you.
But then you've got famous ones of them, like Heracles or Hercules, as he's called for some reason. I don't know why the name changes, but yeah, Heracles. Or Perseus, I think, was demigod, wasn't he?
Yeah, was he the messenger or something?
That was Hermes. That I think.
Was it? Oh yeah,
Hermes. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. You ever play God of War? The games.
Yeah.
I played all them. I feel like I can vaguely grab like some of it.
Some of the names.
But it's not coming to me properly.
Yeah.
I know Ares definitely.
Yeah.
But the dude in God of War is Kratos. Is he real or is he just in the game?
I think
he was a demigod. I know you fight Hercules in that.
Yeah.
That's what I can remember.
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I'm no expert on this by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not sure, really.
Should I Google what? Should I see?
You could Google, like, the sort of family lineage. I mean, I'll Google the first gods so we can find the first ones.
So there's the demigod's meaning. See what it comes up with.
Yeah.
So I thought it was people of All right, okay. So it's saying a being with partial or lesser divine status, such as a minor deity, the offspring of a god, and a mortal, or a mortal raised to a divine rank.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think you can,
such as Hercules.
You can ascend.
You can ascend.
You can ascend to become
ascend the level of gods.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So, but I've got a list here of some of the Greek gods. So these aren't necessarily all the original. I think there was an original 6 or something like that. Yeah. But you'll definitely know some of these. So like Apollo.
Oh yeah.
Athena, Artemis, Aphrodite, big in Cyprus. Hestia, Hades, obviously
the
underworld. And then it's got some of the Titans in. So like Kronos, Eros, Uranus, Gaia. And then some demigods, so Heracles, and then Persephone, things like that.
What else? There's loads, isn't there?
There is. I mean, you could probably go for miles, like for just if you're just looking at family trees and things like this, because it goes a bit.
Yeah.
It does go a bit. I don't know who the hell sort of charted all this. They've just started piecing it together, and the original 6 was Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter and Hestia. So essentially Hestia was born first, then Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon and Zeus. But then they're in reverse age order, so Zeus is the oldest and Hestia the youngest.
I see. Okay, so I'm just reading here. So Callum sent me some notes. Now he sent me actually on Kronos.
Oh yeah.
So he said about Kronos is also called Saturn in Roman mythology.
Oh, okay. So they've changed the name.
And Zeus is called Jupiter.
Oh, right.
So they've like changed it based on like and then obviously we got the planets from them.
There's so many modern references to the Romans, isn't there?
But that's mad. Like they've changed, haven't they? The names as well.
Just to, I mean, I don't know whether they liked the culture and wanted to keep the stories and things like that, but make them their own. I don't know what the story is behind that, but I mean, it's like you say, they've just changed the names, but the stories remain the same.
Yeah, the stories remain the same. A few other stuff he sent was so you got Kronos and his daughter Ananke.
Nananke or something like that.
The goddess of inevitability.
Yeah.
what a thing to be. Imagine the Greeks like with the concept of inevitability, and then they're giving it
giving it to that. That is quite funny, actually.
So who was also in the form of a snake.
Oh yeah.
Revolved around the primordial world egg.
Yeah.
So the world was the egg of the snake. Until they split it apart to form the earth, the sea, and the sky. See, so this is like different, isn't it?
This is the origin of the world.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Said according to the Orphic cult. I don't know who they are.
No, I'm not sure.
You're gonna have to. Cal's gonna have to.
Is he a member of the of the Orphic cult?
According to Callum, a member of the Orphic cult. Kronos gave birth to Aether and chaos. So these would have been the people that he ate.
No. So no, these would have been Kronos's brothers and sisters, I think.
All right. Oh, he's saying he gave birth to Aether and Chaos.
Oh, well, maybe he gave birth to them, but these weren't the gods then.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And these might have been things like Gaia. Like Gaia was like the world mother, but she wasn't. I don't think she was. She had a physical sort of form, as in like a human being.
I get you. Yeah.
And I think Uranus might have been the sky.
Uranus. Yes, everything's like symbols for everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's basically religion, isn't it? In a way, that's how they've like. Well, it was their religion.
Yeah, it was their religion.
But that's how they've like
the gods.
That's how they've interpreted
how the world was made
and how everything works, and that's what's got them through.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, that, isn't it? You think about it. When you properly think about it, like, there was a set of people in time. Like, we're going back a long time, like fucking 5,000 years ago nearly.
Yeah.
And like in that moment in time, they looked up to all these stories. That was their thing.
I mean, who was the first one? Because obviously somebody had to come up with these stories. So
yeah.
Who were the first people to come up with this? Yeah. Because I mean, these was
how drunk were they?
Yeah, how high? Like, surely these would have been like the storytellers of their time. Like these literally lasted. Like, we're talking about them now.
Yeah, we're fucking discussing them now.
Yeah.
I think it must have been an amalgamation, maybe, of previous like societies and what they worship, absorbed. I feel like that's like how a lot of stuff's happened, hasn't it, over time?
I mean, it's cool to see how many references cross over. So, like in the Norse gods,
yeah,
which you've been having a little look into, haven't you?
I've got a few stuff, yeah.
So in the Norse gods, there was the world serpent, which was I can't remember what the name of it was.
The world serpent, yeah.
So but there's like, obviously, you were just saying then in the Greek mythology that there was a snake in that
what
that
Cal
split the
sent
world
me there,
into.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like there's a reference that's sort of similar, but I mean, there's probably a lot more if you look into it a lot.
Yeah, I wonder if a lot of stuff was transferred over, or they just got stuff like is that just a natural thing that people thought was like, you know, no matter where you are in the world, you're thinking about a snake being related to the earth, and you know, like a serpent, or was like them stories passed through different cultures.
Yeah, see, this is the thing you don't know, I suppose. Have they brought it in, and then like you say, it's an amalgamation, but then like there's certain things that seems to just transfer to all religion.
Yeah,
like snakes are in every religion.
Yeah.
They always depict some sort of evil or
everybody
something.
seems to be drawn to snakes in a weird way, don't they?
Yeah.
Like in any culture, there seems to be something drawn to snakes.
Yeah.
Lizards, or like the fucking whatever it is.
Grotesque. Yeah, that's it. The depicts is like the sort of
evil.
Yeah. For whatever reason.
Snake, you.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, so that's I like that. The Zeus, the birth of Zeus.
The birth of Zeus. Yeah.
Let me see what ones I've got.
Go on.
So I've got the Trojan War.
Oh, that'd be good because I've been reading a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I might be able to chime in with some random facts and names.
So that was like, so all this was part of the Iliad, wasn't it? The Trojan War.
Yeah.
And like part of it was true, and then part of it's like mythology, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a mixture
of the two.
And that's where I was like getting confused. Like, what the fuck's like real in Greek history?
Yeah. And what isn't?
Like, I feel like it's been merged. It's all just been merged.
It's quite cool though, in a sense. Like, you don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some stuff that, you can work out for yourself whether you believe or not.
I believe they ate all the kids.
Yeah.
Kronos eating fucking kids.
And then as soon as you sit them out again after 9 months each time, they were perfectly well.
Just in a weird younger like variation.
Yeah, exactly. Try that at home.
So the Trojan War basically was it's not just one like story as well. It's like a collection of stories.
Mm.
And like I said, like it was like a mix up of like what was real and what was
Myth.
not. But according to classical sources, the war began after the abduction of Queen Helen of Sparta.
Yeah.
So she's in the film, isn't she?
Yeah. So, did you know? So, like a little sort of interesting thing about this was basically
Oh yeah, she was abducted by the Trojan prince Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Paris. So I think the story goes is that there was three goddesses arguing over who's the most beautiful.
Yeah.
And essentially
over who's the most beautiful.
I think it was something like that and I think Aphrodite was one, I think Hera was another.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who the other one was, but basically they they needed to ask somebody's opinion to see who they thought was the most beautiful.
I get you.
And so they sought out to seek someone who was like brutally honest and fair.
Who would tell the truth.
Exactly.
Say it straight.
Exactly. And so the story goes that was Paris.
Ah, right, yeah.
And so essentially they said to Paris, we need you to choose who's the most, we've heard you're honest, that sort of thing. But then they each tried to offer him something in return for him saying
to choose one of them.
Exactly.
To choose each one.
And so like one of them offered I think power.
Yeah.
Another offered either wealth or fame, something like that. And then I think it was Aphrodite basically showed him a vision of Helen. She said, if you choose me, it was something like, I'll give you the most beautiful woman in the world.
What? And that was supposed to be Helen.
That was Helen. So she showed him like a vision of Helen, and then in the end he said it's Aphrodite because he wanted Helen. So that was,
and that's where he gets.
I think that's how it kicks off, basically.
What the hell? That's pretty. That's an interesting way of it starting.
Yeah.
So he's abducted this Queen Helen of Sparta.
Yeah.
So Sparta was a real place.
Yeah.
So we know that was true. But was Helen so the goddesses bit was myth.
That's definitely myth, yeah.
But maybe like there was a queen who was abducted by a Trojan prince.
Maybe, yeah.
Paris. See, that's where I'm confused with all these stories. Like
they intertwine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know whether maybe they've thrown Sparta in because they think, well, Sparta's a real place, so
yeah, let's use that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
So basically, Helen's so she was abducted, and Helen's jilted husband, Menelaus. Yeah, you can.
I'll just do this.
Menelaus convinced his brother Agamemnon.
Yeah.
King of Mycenae.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on this sort of pronunciation of that.
To lead an expedition to retrieve her. So Agamemnon was the guy who was the Spartan dude to go and save Helen.
Yeah, and then Menelaus was his brother.
Yeah, and Agamemnon was joined by the Greek heroes Achilles, Odysseus, Nestor, and Ajax.
Yeah.
So if Agamemnon was real, I don't think Achilles, Odysseus, and all them were they like myths?
Well, I think so because Achilles was a demigod. Yeah. Wasn't he? Born to, I'm not sure. I think his mother was a sea nymph, maybe. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, probably not the best insult, but roll with it.
So these rocked up with Agamemnon on a fleet of more than 1,000 ships. So they crossed the Aegean. Yeah. There we go. The Aegean Sea to Asia Minor, which is like it's like that's Greek, isn't it? Like Turkey and around there.
Yeah, I can't remember what the sort of name for that place was during that time.
It was where Troy was and all that.
Yeah, there was a few different little areas that were.
But they crossed that sea to siege Troy and demand Helen's return.
Yeah.
So that's basically like the premise of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the siege was like, there was a load of battles, wasn't it, involved with this siege and like skirmishes.
Yeah.
And it includes the story deaths of the Trojan prince Hector.
Yeah.
So do you know anything about that story?
Off the top of my head, no, I can't. I don't think
I've heard of his name, Hector,
Yeah, I mean, I think he is famous. I haven't read far enough into it yet. At the minute, I've got a few stories about sort of the before that and about Troy in general, but not of Hector.
All right, I'll go on.
So you can keep going.
Don't mean to keep going, or do you?
Yeah, no. If I hear anything that I can sort of chime in on, I'll.
And in this is the Achilles death, which we all know.
Yeah.
Which is, do you want to take the lead on that one?
Well, I think the story goes he was shot in the Achilles with an arrow.
Yeah. So there's a symbol in that, isn't there? You where everybody's got a weakness.
Yeah, it was.
No matter how it's Achilles heel. Yeah, it was a brutal way to be shot as well. Achilles.
Yeah. Do you remember when? Was it Fabio Aurelio or someone did his Achilles in when he was run down the? I think he was run down the wing, wasn't he? And then it just went, and it literally looked like he'd been shot.
Yeah.
He just flopped over. He was screaming. Apparently, it literally feels like.
Is it supposed to be the most painful one?
It's supposed to be excruciating.
See, they're the worst as well. Like that example, like you said, it's out of nowhere. Fair enough if it's a tackle, someone's done it to you.
Yeah, he's just running.
It's just coming out of no. You can do nothing about it.
No, exactly. I mean, he probably wouldn't have even felt bad about it or anything like that. It is horrendous. So
the death of Achilles was involved in this, and the story of how it finished was the Trojan horse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which I've got stories, a bit of notes on that.
Oh yeah.
So the Trojan horse, I think that's fucking class. That whole story of that, how they just rock up.
Tactical masterclass.
It is, isn't it? Whoever, was that true or not? Did somebody use that in a war?
I mean, I don't know.
Even to come up with the concept of that's just fucking class.
It is a bit crazy.
But even if it didn't happen, just that in general.
I feel like you could definitely use it in war. Obviously, maybe not building a 100-foot high wooden horse and hiding everyone in there.
That would weirdly catch people out though. Imagine if you're in Ukraine and some Russian people rock up with a massive wooden, made out of pallet wood as well, wooden horse. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Shit.
So the Trojan horse was a huge hollow wooden horse constructed by the Greeks to gain entrance into Troy during the Trojan War. So the horse, it was built by Epius. I probably said that completely wrong because I don't know how to pronounce any of these.
I think Eus is quite a popular one, so Epius probably isn't. Yeah, it's probably not.
And he was
Epius.
He was a master carpenter. I feel that's a good level. When you've hit master carpentry level, that's when you. I would like to be a master carpenter. I feel like
you're on the way. Got some planters there.
I don't think I'm even apprentice level carpenter yet, but I'll keep trying. But yeah, so he was this master carpenter. So the Greeks, so basically the war was the Greeks pretended to desert the war and retreat back. And they sailed to a nearby island called, what was it? The island of Tenedos.
Oh, yeah.
And they left behind some guy called Sinon, who persuaded the Trojans that the Greeks built this big horse and then left the war.
Yeah.
And this Sinon, who they left behind at this island, he persuaded the Trojans that this horse was an offering to Athena, which we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
It was an offering to Athena, and that would make Troy impregnable.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
No, I
don't know why.
Well, I'm not sure unless she's the goddess of impregnation.
Yeah.
Or unimpregnation. I don't know what. Yeah, unimpregnation. I don't know what it'd be.
And the Trojans, for some reason, took it on board. Right, okay, this massive force. Fucking hell, we're taking this on.
This can't be a trick.
So they took it. They took it in. Yeah, this random one guy as well. I'm telling you. This doesn't look suspicious.
Why should we believe you? Oh, he seems sound.
Yeah, he seems alright.
Let's trust him.
He's got a good vibe. So they brought it into the city, and little did they know, inside the horse was full of Greek warriors.
Yeah.
All trying to be quiet, not laugh.
I know, yeah. Especially when they started fucking wheeling it in.
Just picture the scene of that, the big gates opening and people are pushing it in.
I know, yeah.
You can hear them talking while they push. What is this? What's all this about?
It's a bit heavy, this, for a hollow wooden horse.
And then, so they waited till night time, and the Greek warriors emerged from it, and they snuck out and opened the gates, and they lit the Greek army come into Troy, and that's I presume you can guess the rest of how it happened. A big war, and did they get Helen back or something?
Well, I think they sacked the city. I don't know whether they
plundered
killed it. Yeah, I mean, they definitely would have got Helen, but I don't know whether Paris and Helen escaped into the countryside or not.
Yeah.
I think they did. They did have like an escape planned. I think that led them into the countryside somewhere. So whether or not they got them back in the end, or whether they escaped and lived just like a humble life, I'm not sure.
Become Amish.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jealous of them. Go to the countryside.
Go to the countryside.
Yeah, fucking rock up in the chimney with windows covered.
Yeah. Well, some more mythology to go with your story that we don't know whether it's true or is also mythology.
Add what you know with the Trojan War.
So, I mean, there's quite a lot of history behind like the Troy. It sort of isn't always, because at that time, and like it's sort of depicted as like this massive, successful trade hub city with massive walls that can't be, nobody's ever managed to sort of invade them before, because
the only way you can get in is by this freaking extreme fucking wooden horse tactic.
Yeah, guerrilla warfare tactics. Come up with it. I think it was Odysseus who come up with it, wasn't it? Something like that, yeah. But basically, the way they got to build the walls was even better. It was essentially like a Chinese sweatshop. It was basically, I think, I'm not 100% sure, so there'll be some gaps here that you'll have to fill in yourself.
This whole podcast.
Yeah, I feel like it's mainly gaps.
Not even just this episode. Every episode is full of stuff that need fact checks in.
Yeah. Read yourself. Yeah. But no, we've got so the Troy, when it first started, obviously didn't have the walls. They had to build out from the centre. And then they wanted these huge walls there so that nobody could invade, because I think they'd had trouble in the past with people invading and things like that. And so the way they did it was basically they had a king. I don't know whether his name was Prius or something like that. It was one of the first kings. So the father of Paris and Hector was called Priam.
Yeah.
Which was a nickname given to him. I can't remember why, but Priam was a nickname, but this was a different, I think this was his father, and basically he wanted these walls building, so he enlisted the help of the gods, and I think he made it as if he made a deal with the gods.
He's getting the gods on his side. Yeah, you fucking sort this out for us.
You sort this wall out for us, and so they built like these massive walls
and all
for them.
These gods are in like a sweatshop type building situation.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting like 20-minute lunch breaks, if that. And they're 40-degree heat in the middle of wherever Troy is in the modern world.
Yeah.
So no healthcare, no NHS over there either.
No way.
Dentistry. I don't even know if it had been invented then.
Yeah, you fucking punch your teeth out.
So these thought, fuck this, not building these myself. Ourselves can't be asked. So we'll just enlist the help of these gods. And so I can't remember whether it was like they set them a challenge or something, but they basically said, can you build these walls in this certain time or whatever, and then if you do, we'll pay you. And essentially there was some sort of technicality that he got them on, where basically
got the job on a technicality.
Yeah, I'm a legend who recommended you. But so basically they'd built these walls, went back to him and said, right, it's time for you to pay up. Yeah. And he decided that he wasn't going to pay them. I think he tried to get them on some sort of a technicality.
What? And these are the gods as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to fuck over the gods.
He's literally screwing over the gods. And so in the end, what the gods did was they plagued it, as a lot of famous, powerful beings do. They let out a couple of plagues.
A good dishing of Ebola.
Yeah.
A nice bit of COVID.
Sort them out a bit. I can't remember exactly what the plagues were now, because I can't remember much of it. But clearly it was an interesting book, so I've remembered so much. But yeah, so they let out a couple of plagues, and then I think in the end he had to sort of cave.
I'm gonna have to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
These are a bit too powerful for me. These gods.
Yeah, I might have to stop this because these plagues are getting a bit out of hand now. So that was how the story of the walls were built. So the walls were built by the gods, which was the mythological story, but you know, and for free as well. So Donald Trump, eat your heart out.
Yeah, I get that, Donald Trump.
Yeah, better than something the Mexicans can knock up, like.
Yeah, make a good point. So there's the Trojan Wars. Yeah, it's fucking. I'm trying to see like what I can't off the top of my head. I can't think of the symbolism in all that, but there's probably loads, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there definitely is. I mean, one of the things was like you said. I mean, the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
The idea that everyone's got a
weakness.
This, you know, indestructible warrior, and then I don't know whether there's symbolism in the fact that they took the Trojan horse in. I don't think it was just like because they were already impenetrable. The walls were already impenetrable. So if they've took it into
to be more impenetrable, even though they were, it's like being too greedy.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Don't overreach. Maybe
that's interesting. Actually,
this is the thing with a lot of them is you can sort of make things out of nothing. There's a lot of opportunities, isn't there, to take lessons from all these stories.
I suppose that's what's good, though, isn't it? You know, like each person could take a different thing from, like back then or whenever, people could have took different things to apply into their own their
own lives. Yeah, exactly. You know, let's try and I'm gonna ask my neighbour, do you want to buy new fence panels to go halves on fence panels?
Yeah.
But then what I'll say to him is, you've got to have them up within 24 hours or I'm not paying you. And then I'll wait and I'll say it on a day where it's raining, he doesn't want to go outside. So when he doesn't finish them in 24 hours, I'll say, well, actually, I'm not paying for them now because, you know, I've got you on a technicality.
I've caught you out.
Yeah, unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's some stuff we can take out from... To use.
Yeah.
To use it.
Whether it's morally right or wrong.
We don't care about that.
No, it doesn't matter.
I've got another funny story here. This one's a short one. Erysichthlon.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Erysichthlon. I think that's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it's pronounced. This one is he eats himself to death because he's so hungry. I had to take note of this. I want to see it. I was like, what the fuck?
There's some self-cannibalism in there.
So the story of this is this man. I'm just gonna basically read it because it was it's not that long. This man was incredibly greedy and incredibly rich, and he really didn't pay the gods much mind. One day, he cut down a sacred grove of trees in order to build another feast hall, as the rich are want to do. That doesn't
read well.
Grammatically make up any sense.
He's proofreading.
But I think what it's trying to imply is the rich are greedy and making all these feast halls.
Yeah.
Demeter, which I think is a god.
That's the second youngest god.
No way. What?
Yeah. See, I'm starting to remember now.
Here we go. You're
We're learning as we go.
He was annoyed by this and decided to punish him. So she gave him an appetite so strong that he ate everything. He ate all the food he had, then all the food he could buy, until he had completely exhausted his wealth. He even tried to sell his own daughter for food. This reduced him to such poverty that he lost all standing, his home and everything. When he had nothing else left, and he was that hungry, he turned on himself and died eating his own flesh of his body. So we can kind of see the symbol, the meaning of that, I guess, is about being greedy.
Exactly. The obvious one's being greedy.
Don't piss off the gods.
Do you know what I really like about the gods is they're so creative in the ways that they punish people. Yeah, and it's like little annoying things. Like, for example, I don't know, if we're playing pro clubs and somebody doesn't pass the ball, I want them to be driven to poverty and to have to eat themselves to death. Yeah. But I can't say that because they're supposed to be my friends. And I also can't make that happen.
Yeah,
But in that small moment, I completely can.
You've assumed the thoughts of the gods.
Yeah, what's the word?
creativity.
Empathise. I
You can empathise.
I can understand where the god is coming from. There, he's cut down his tree. He doesn't want. He's pissed off. That's
done.
it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is the god could have took all his food away, for instance, that made him starve.
Yeah.
But it's the complete opposite. The gods made him that hungry that he's ate all his food and he can't stop eating. And he's that hungry, he's going to eat himself. Like, what the well, where do you even get that?
I know, yeah. Do you reckon they'd watched Matilda? Pure Bruce Bogtrotter mode.
Yeah, taking notes from a Danny DeVito film. Another one was Pan. So Pan's the guy with the flutes.
Yeah, I think I know.
Was he like a faun?
I think he was a faun. Yeah, it's half. What is it? Half deer, half human, or something like that. Yeah. Or half goat, is it?
He's like the dude off Narnia.
Yeah, Mr. Tumnus.
Why is that so funny for some reason?
I don't know.
Mr. Tumnus. Hey, there's Greek mythology coming into fucking Narnia.
Modern day.
Who wrote Narnia? Was it Lewis? Something Lewis.
Lewis C. Well, I don't know.
CK or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like have a Google.
I've got too many names going around in my head now.
There's too many Greek god names.
I don't want to say something stupid now.
I feel like it's something Lewis.
Narnia author. I think it's called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, isn't it?
Is it?
C.S. Lewis. That's
C.S. Lewis.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis wrote
The
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Stole it all from Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So this one, Pan. He created the pan flute out of a woman who rejected him.
What is in? He literally crafted it out of their body.
So the story is, Pan in general is a pretty nasty guy. Mr. Tumnus. Yes, Mr. Tumnus is a horrible guy. Some myths say he was birthed from Penelope, Odysseus' wife.
Oh right.
While others say it was a nymph or even Aphrodite herself. Aphrodite.
Right. Aphrodite, yeah.
He was known for tending and sometimes having relations with his sheep.
So he was Welsh.
Yeah. He was from the valleys. And for wanting to get basically every female he ever laid his eyes on. So he was a bit of a creeper.
Yeah.
And one such nymph, Syrinx, really wasn't very open to these advances. Obviously because he was half fucking deer. Probably didn't look that cool. Did he?
I was going to say.
Being a bit weird.
Not everyone's attracted to sheep.
And she fled from Pan. So this is the words that I'm reading. The creepy half goat, half man followed her, chasing her through the woods. Now that's the last thing you got.
That is very creepy, yeah. Fucking hell.
Eventually, Syrinx became so fed up with this, of being chased, that she got a river god to transform her into something Pan couldn't possibly lust after. It was a bunch of reeds. But Pan was so determined to have her that he decided to take a piece of her with him everywhere. He used these reeds to craft a flute. What is now known today as a pan flute.
No way.
Like, who the fuck's coming up with that story?
So do you think that anyone who actually knows or plays the pan flute or owns a pan flute knows how creepy the fucking origin story of the musical instrument is?
What a really weird fucking story that is.
I know, that is strange, that.
Mr. Tumnus being a fucking creep.
Yeah, he's like the modern day, the ancient sort of modern day incel. You onto them?
Yeah.
Fucking weird, them weirdos.
Half goat, half sheep, fucking man bear pig incel. Yeah, he's the modern day. He's the ancient incel, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you feel like you'd be able to, so he had the legs of a goat then?
I think
and
that's
the upper body of a human.
The torso of a human.
So he wasn't running on all fours, would you?
That'd be
think
more
I could
creepy.
probably outrun a half, someone with, at least with the hind legs of a goat.
Yeah, imagine a goat standing up on two legs
and trying to run after you. They'd be all over the
No way. I feel like I could trip it over.
Yeah.
I feel like I could take Pan on, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
I was going to, not wanting to, blame the victim here, but she probably could have ran away.
You didn't really have to turn yourself into a bunch of reeds.
Into some reeds.
Just on the floor, fucking pile of reeds. That's me now from now on. I think you could do a swift leg kick. Good roundhouse kick to goats' legs. I feel like they'd break. They don't look that strong, don't they?
I wouldn't like to get kicked by a goat, I'll be honest.
Ah, yeah.
They're probably the strongest part.
With the way
just chin it. It's got a jaw of a human.
Yeah. Uppercut it.
Yeah. quick 1-2. See you in a bit.
I suppose, like, it's funny how she, in the story, whoever came up with that, like, where have you got, like, the inspiration from that? Has that come to you in a dream or something? I can't imagine, like, I can imagine a situation where, like, an incel is chasing women.
Yeah.
But like, where have you got the inspiration to, like, turn into reeds and turn into, like, an instrument?
A flute, yeah.
That's got to come from, like, a dream or something, hasn't it?
I was going to say, yeah, I can imagine the creepy guy, because, we see that all the time, like, when you're out or whatever, piss people, but I can't...
Running like goats.
Yeah, exactly. Chasing them through the woods. Oh, there's another one. I'll leave you to it.
I'll leave that one. Yeah. Leave that one alone. I don't want to get involved in that one.
Of all the things, though, why is the least attractive thing to a goat something that a goat would eat? Well, I don't know whether they'd eat reeds, but they eat grass.
Yeah,
it's similar enough. Why, like, do you not just take away a thigh gap?
Yeah, you can actually go fat. Put like fucking 10 stone on. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, don't know why I've done all this running now.
Turns out pans into big girls. So that was one of the weird stories. Let's see. The other ones doesn't seem to be loaded on my phone.
No, we ran out.
To be honest, the whole concept of Greek mythology is like very weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
It can't just been one, like, a person coming up with the story once. It's got to, like, pass through loads of people.
A bit of Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
Somebody's added bits to it as it's gone down.
It must have, mustn't it?
I think so, yeah. But then they seem to, like... It does that to a point, doesn't it? But then it gets to a certain point where it becomes history, where it's like, no, don't change it. It has to be exactly the way.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do we stop adding to it and saying, oh, yeah, this might have happened?
Yeah, like they've all got smartphones now in the stories.
Exactly, yeah.
We should have told it. We should have added some of our stuff into it.
Yeah, Pan kept super liking her on Tinder, so she ran away.
Kronos is shit at fantasy football. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's like historians, isn't it? Well, the funniest one is, like, obviously we won't go into it because it's an episode in itself, but like Egyptology.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of Egyptology where it's like they found out there's a lot of people who were like fucking religious about that.
Yeah.
And like don't accept the new, the scientific,
the new Egyptology.
Yeah, like there's like science coming out and saying, oh, it's actually this now.
Yeah.
Whereas the old school Egyptologists are like, no, we're not having that. We're just fucking, we believe they refuse the original thing.
Yeah, they refuse to change their beliefs.
Yeah, the narrative of it all.
Yeah. But you see that loads though, don't you? Like Christianity and, well, I suppose any religion. I mean, there's so much science now, really. There's like, it's starting to get phased out bit by bit. As soon as we solve what created the world, the religion's on its arse then.
Fucking so. You don't need to be bothered about it.
No, exactly.
Even in this day and age, like, what do you need to be bothered about religion? Like, why does it need to come into your life, really?
I think it's like hope, isn't it? I think that's what a lot of it is.
Even now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, it's popular with older people, but I suppose it's popular with older people because as you get a bit closer to you start thinking, fucking hell, I'm running out of time here.
You start questioning your doom.
Yeah, exactly. You think Christianity, just got to say sorry a few times, and, guarantee.
Well, I was going to say...
If you're a betting man, you're going to hedge your bets, aren't you? And just say, oh, listen, sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I do believe now, honest.
I was going to say, like older people would have been brought up on it more stricter.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, I don't know, even as a kid, it's kind of a bit of a joke.
Yeah, it is weird that it's sort of dying down, but I suppose...
But it does make sense what you said. If you're getting old and you start thinking about your death and, like...
Contemplating your existence.
Ooh.
Is there anything after, or am I just going to get put in the ground?
Gone.
Is this it? It is weird when you think about it. Very sort of existential crisis. I've thought about it a few times. You just think, I wonder what does that. Like, it's not scary. I don't think it's just like, what happens? Do you just, I know you're reborn in a new consciousness with no knowledge of, or is it just eternity of nothing, or do you literally, there's so many different theories and things. That's obviously different religions.
God, I don't. If I had to say now, right off the top of my head, I feel like it's just nothing. You're just gone, and you just poof out of existence. It's not even, you don't even know you're gone. It's just like bang, gone. It's nothing.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
But yeah, the more you think on it, that's off the top of my head. Now I'm pondering it. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's crazy, isn't it? The one I always come back to is, I wonder if as soon as you die, that's it. Yeah. That consciousness is gone. But then because obviously we just spring into consciousness, don't we? At a certain point, once we're born. Yeah. So do we just get recycled?
Reused.
Yeah. Will we just not even necessarily on that time frame, but then you wouldn't remember anything anyway. So you literally might have just been. I don't know.
I know. I get what you're saying there. Yeah. It's like reincarnation, isn't it?
Essentially, yeah. That's the only one that sort of gets me a little bit.
Well, what did the Greeks think?
The
about
Greeks.
death. They had like the underworld and stuff.
Yeah, and then they had like Mount Olympus.
Is that where you went after you died?
That's where the gods lived. The gods lived, and I think they definitely had because they had the underworld, so they must have had, which
was Hades.
Yeah, Hades was tricked into guarding the underworld, wasn't he? I think so.
What is that? Oh, go on, tell the story of that.
I actually don't. I don't really know the sort of ins and outs of it enough to tell it. I don't think.
But he was.
Yeah.
Of all the things you can get tricked into doing.
The guarding the underworld was one of them.
It wasn't like, go and get some milk from the shop.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You've got to guard the fucking underworld.
Yeah. The other ones should be looking, thinking, to be fair, we only had to build a wall for 2 days for the fucking Trojans, and even then we let a plague out on them. Yeah. He's got to stay with the rest of his immortal life in there. Yeah. But no, I mean, I imagine if they had an underworld, they had
a heaven,
some sort of a heaven. Yeah.
So they must have. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they thought of, like what mixed in with their mythology about death and what happened to you afterwards.
Yeah. And like the Egyptians,
what's the Sea of Lost Souls? Or something? Is that something?
This is where I sort of get blurred up between like Egyptian and Greek, because I know
is that in
like the Egyptians had the whole thing of, but then I think the Greeks had the idea of paying the ferryman, maybe, where they put the coins on the eyes or bury them with something so that they had enough money to pay.
And that's come through into different ones, hasn't it? Yeah. Later on in time.
Yeah,
so pay the ferryman.
Yeah, so like obviously, for example, Egyptian pharaohs were buried with everything that all the gold,
the wealth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's going straight across.
Yeah, he needs that when he gets to the afterlife. Yeah,
Wait, so the story of that, basically what the Greeks believed was when you die you'd need there'd be a ferryman to take you. Oh, that's it. Yeah, the river, wasn't it?
The river of
was it Styx or something?
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's the Egyptian one.
Is that the Egyptian?
I think it's the Egyptian one. Yeah.
I have no idea where I know that from.
I know that's come from the deepest recesses of your memory.
But yeah, the ferryman, you had to pay him, and didn't they? And that's why they'd give you, you'd be buried with like gold and stuff. Yeah. The family would bury you with gold.
Yeah, but then Egyptians also had. So if you've seen like a lot of Egyptian pictures and things like that, there's always pictures of scales. As in the weigh-in scales.
Yeah, with the two on each side.
Yeah.
Weigh things.
I think essentially you had to. I think it was that basically you were weighed depending on your moral, how you've lived your life, essentially. See, yeah. Which way the scales tipped in favour of. But I think then you can put, if you had wealth and stuff like that, I think you could put that on the scales to sort of tip them more in your favour.
So if you been an absolute fucking crazy man, you been like Pan, and doing a lot of raping of women.
Yeah, but you were rich.
You were rich.
If you were Jeff Bezos,
You got nothing to worry about with the ferryman.
No, exactly. I think that was it. You could tip the scales in your favour.
That's funny. That like, do you think that's been created by like people who've like? There's the story, and then there's people who are doing bad, and they're telling everybody,
maybe,
it's all right. I can just pay myself off. It's all right.
Yeah, I can just pay it. I know there was the ferryman in some certain things because there was Anubis was the Egyptian god of the underworld, wasn't he?
Was that
or at least he guarded the gates of the underworld.
Yeah,
because he was the one that he was the sort of the dog or the wolf, wasn't he?
Oh,
Anubis.
Yeah.
And then he was the guard. I think he was the one who decided where you went, whether you went into like. But I think they had like a purgatory, like a limbo, like a few religions have that as well, don't you?
Yeah. What even is that?
I
think just like fucking floating in between. You're just waiting.
You wait. Yeah, I think it's like you're waiting, or you can spend eternity.
Eternity in limbo.
In limbo.
Some people fucking live their lives in limbo.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Just happy to fucking go with the flow, not really do much.
Yeah, I don't really fucking experience much.
Yeah.
Float around.
The bit that always gets me is the sort of, if you're going to hedge your bets on religion, is surely, we know for a fact we've got this life now.
Yeah.
We don't know what comes after, which is fair enough if you want to believe that we have. But then people who like devote their lives and things like this, like Buddhist monks and stuff like that, you do crazy, feats of devotion to the religion.
Yeah, give up the whole life.
Yeah, what if they just get to the end of it and then they die, and then obviously they wouldn't realise. There'd be no moment of realisation. There would just be nothing. So you'd literally
They've wasted their life.
Yeah, that's if we're right and they're wrong.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah.
But then I suppose some people would just say, have they wasted it if they've done like the thing they wanted to do?
Yeah, what they wanted to do. But then if they would have known that what they wanted didn't exist, would they have still done it?
Yeah. Would they have gone fucking, I don't know, fucking learned Back in Black on guitar and fucking shredded out?
Clubbing. Drinking. Gambling.
Have a load of Doom Bar. That's what I'm drinking here, guys.
Yeah.
And it's very nice. I don't usually drink, but I've had a Doom Bar Amber Ale. It says it's balanced and Moorish.
But
I thought Moorish is like supposed to be a negative description. Moorish.
No, yeah, like biscuits are Moorish, aren't they?
I've never heard of that.
What?
What does it mean, Moorish then?
It means like you've say for example biscuits, you've ate one.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Moorish. I want another one.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, I'd say most beer's Moorish because once you drink one, you usually want another one.
Is it game over for me?
Yeah, exactly.
10 Doom Bars.
It tends to get more Moorish as you go on as well, except then you move on to fucking, I'll have a few shots there.
Game over.
Yeah.
So, the final story I've got, the story of Pandora's Box.
Oh, yeah.
So, I didn't know anything about this, to be honest.
I don't think I know a lot. I've obviously heard of it, but...
Yeah. I still don't know, to be honest. I'm going to have to reread it to see. But basically, Pandora's Box begins with the story of Zeus, Prometheus, and Epimetheus.
Oh, yeah.
Is that one? Epimetheus? Yeah.
He's not one of the original 6 gods. I don't know whether he's a Titan. I don't know whether Prometheus are Titans.
Oh, it says, Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus were Titans, but pledged their loyalty to Zeus and the Olympians.
Yeah, so some of them chose sides.
I see.
Away from Kronos.
Oh,
in the big war, in the clash of the Titans.
Yeah. Since Prometheus was born with the special power of prophecy, and knew that Zeus would defeat the Titans, that's why Prometheus and Epimetheus joined them.
Oh, so they knew.
Ah, that's interesting. They gave everybody's got like something, can't they? The power of something.
Yeah, they're usually the god of something, aren't they?
Yeah.
They usually have like a purpose.
So, a purpose, yeah. So Zeus rewarded Prometheus and Epimetheus for their loyalty and gave them a job of creating the first creatures to live on Earth. Ah, that's where Prometheus comes from in the film Prometheus, in the Alien series.
I can't remember.
Because the whole what's the word for it? Where it's like not the main storyline. It's like kind of shadowing the storyline.
Like an underlying, something like that.
I think like the underlying story of the Alien films, especially the first like Prometheus and Covenant, all that is about like the creation of life.
Oh yeah.
I think that's why it's called Prometheus.
Oh, maybe then. Yeah, that's where it's got its name from.
Because he's the creator of life on Earth.
That's quite cool.
Oh, it does open up with the guy creating life on Earth from Prometheus. The
Does
weird
it?
alien. Well, that's what it's supposed to signify. What the hell? It's all coming to you.
It's all coming together, literally.
So, Epimetheus formed the animals and gave each a special skill and form of protection, but Prometheus took his time moulding man, and was left with no forms of protection, since Epimetheus had already given them all away. I see. So like humans were vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that's what it's supposed to signify.
We don't have any horns or claws.
Yeah, but we can fucking outrun any animal.
Yeah.
That's like I can't stop thinking about that.
Endurance hunters.
That's like the pinnacle, isn't it? Fucking like some animals just run for what is it? We always talk about this, don't we?
Yeah.
Like
we talk about this quite a lot.
It's on my mind all the time for some reason. like a dog can run.
Yeah.
Like a sprint once, and then it needs to pant and like fucking gather itself before it combusts.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas a human could just like jog all day, couldn't it? Just fucking hunt down a deer all day.
We're built for endurance.
Peak
Something
levels.
like a cheetah, it can outrun us over like probably 200 meters, 300, maybe 400 meters, something like that. But after a while, it's gonna have to stop.
Yeah, and then it's done, isn't it?
Yeah,
it won't be able to move after that.
No, we'll just slowly grind it away.
Yeah. Well, is it lions or something? If they fail in their hunt of the day, they don't have enough energy to hunt again, so they just starve for the day.
I think definitely cheetahs. I'm not sure about lions. Yeah. Maybe lions, but lions hunting. It's usually the lionesses who hunt in the prides.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, most of the time, like when they're not hunting, they just lay about conserving energy. Like that is their life.
Well, we can just fucking build empires.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
So that's I don't know how we got onto that one.
I know, yeah. Segue.
And Prometheus knew man needed some form of protection and asked Zeus if he could let man have fire. Zeus refused. Fire was only for the gods. Prometheus ignored Zeus and gave man fire anyway. I think the last thing you want to do is be pissing off the gods from what we've
But then
we've
to be
gathered.
fair, he's a titan.
Yeah,
he essentially might be his uncle.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry. You won't have to eat yourself.
Uncle Knobhead.
Oh, actually, Uncle Knobhead. Well, for this, Prometheus was punished. That was the next line. Prometheus was punished. Zeus tied him with chains to a rock far away in the Caucasus Mountains where nobody would find him. Every day, Zeus sent an eagle to feast upon Prometheus's liver. Oh, I think I've heard about that.
Bloody hell.
Isn't there like a painting where like a guy's chained up and there's an eagle eating somebody?
I'm honestly not sure off the top of my head. I know that
I feel like I can picture that.
There's definitely mythology references to an eagle. Like the eagle was Zeus's sort of sacred like bird.
Oh, his bird, yeah.
It was like his animal.
Yeah, it's a good animal to have, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
And his Prometheus' liver grew back every day, so that Prometheus would have to endure the torture every day. There was Heracles found Prometheus and killed the eagle and then let Prometheus go. So the torture wasn't enough of a punishment for Zeus, who also believed that humans should be punished for accepting the gift of fire from Prometheus.
Oh, yeah.
To punish man, Zeus created a woman named Pandora. So this is where she comes into it now.
Yeah.
So she was moulded to look like the beautiful goddess Aphrodite. She received the gifts of wisdom, beauty, kindness, peace, generosity, and health from the gods. So she's got a full package there.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like when you're creating a character on something.
I know, yeah. You fucking maxed out stats.
Yeah.
So Zeus brought her to the earth to be Epimetheus' wife, even though Epimetheus' brother Prometheus had warned him of Zeus's trickery.
Yeah.
So Prometheus knows what's going on and is like, right, fucking
don't trust this,
and told him not to accept the gift from the gods. Epimetheus was too taken with her fucking beauty and maxed out stats and wanted to marry her. As a wedding present, Zeus gave Pandora a box, but warned her never to open it. Pandora, who was created to be curious, couldn't stay away from the box, and the urge to open the box overcame her. Horrible things flew out of the box, including greed, envy, hatred, pain, disease, hunger, poverty, war, and death. Basically just described Africa.
Oh, God.
All of life's miseries had been let out into the world. Yes, it's described Africa. Pandora slammed the lid of the box back down. The last thing remaining inside of the box was hope.
Yeah.
Which failed to escape. Ever since, humans have been able to hold on to this hope in order to survive the wickedness that Pandora had let out. So Pandora's box now means anything that is best left untouched for fear of what might come out of it.
Yeah.
Or is that
fear of the unknown?
Is that what it is? Anything that is best left untouched for the fear of what might. Oh, so it's basically like don't be. So she was like too curious.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
Or in this case, let out all sorts of horrendous things.
Horrendous stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that story is what I presume the Greeks were symbolising was like. So she was told not to open that.
Yeah.
But she did it anyway. So it's like doing something which you've been told is bad, and you've done it anyway, and it's caused something bad. And then I don't know what the last bit of hope is like. That was the only thing that wasn't released though.
Is hope?
Yeah, that was the only thing that wasn't released out of the box.
Yeah. I don't know what the really significance of that. Obviously, it's like fear of the unknown.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very similar reference in Christianity with the apple. And
it is, isn't it?
Adam and Eve.
Yeah. You know what? There was I remember seeing something. I can't remember where, but there's something in my notes about Adam and Eve as well, like in Greek mythology.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the concept of it.
I mean, it might have been there before.
I presume there's bits of Christianity's passed through all, like every religion, isn't, like we said before, it's just merged through all other religions.
Yeah, they have a lot of the same stories and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crossover. It's like Marvel DC.
That's it.
Essentially. This is what we're talking about. Yeah. We're just having an episode on Marvel DC, but before television and film.
So that Pandora's box, I felt like I don't really know the meaning of that, to be honest, in a way. Maybe anybody listening should can give their opinion. Yeah, and we'll share it on the next episode.
Let us know. I think I don't know. My take on it would be it's instilling the fear of the unknown. Yeah, because it's literally curiosity killed the cat. I mean, you've been told not to do something. Yeah, and you've gone and done it, and then these bad things have happened. So you think, oh, do you know what? I'm not going to do that again.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
We know what's funny as well. It's another like deceitful trick by the gods, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
They're all absolute fucking ruse masters, aren't they?
They are. They're sadistic, I think, is the right word.
So the Greeks who were coming up with all this fucking gods, they had something in their mind about, like, it wasn't just normal level shit. Something in their mind creating these gods. They were like making them to be like fucking, I don't know, extreme, weren't they?
Yeah. I think. It says something that these were literally their gods, like they'd created their gods. Yeah. And like if you think about like the Christian God, he's all knowing, all loving, all powerful. Yeah. Sacrificed his only son. Oh, he's so good. He's never done anything bad. But then, these Greek ones have.
Have they done anything good? These Greek ones?
I know. Yeah.
All bad.
Yeah. They're releasing plague and stuff like that. I mean, they're tricksters, deceitful, like you say. It's
fucking weird. I thought I'd throw that one in because Pandora's box is like, I feel like I've heard of that, but I didn't know what it was. I don't even know where I've heard of it.
I think there's loads of references, isn't there, to Pandora's box. I think, there's like the film, isn't there? I think it was a long time ago, but I think you were the one who explained it to me or something, where it's like a film where you if you open the box or something, there's $1 million in it, but then, or you get money or something, but then if you open the box, it's like somebody in the world will die.
Yeah. What film's that?
I can't remember exactly what film. I think you were explaining.
The Box?
Maybe, yeah.
I vaguely remember that film.
You were explaining to me a long time ago, and for some reason it's obviously stuck with me. But that was it. It was like you can open the box and you get money or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then if you do, somebody in the world dies, but you don't know who.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, the box.
Yeah.
Who's in that? James Marsden, Cameron Diaz.
All right.
Yeah. So it was a couple, and some guy appears.
Yeah.
At the house with a box, and basically says that a moral dilemma. If opened, they would receive $1 million or kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting film. And, like, it's just like them, like, fucking spiraling, debating whether to open it or not. I can't remember if they do open it or not. I can't give you any spoilers on it because I can't remember.
I haven't even watched it yet, and it's been years.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, there's like an element of that, isn't there?
Yeah. I think that's the thing with mythology though is like we said before, they're literally just stories, you know, that you can take meaning from and lessons and things like this. But the way they're told is like the characters and all the rest of it, and and the sort of magical nature of the stories is so class.
Yeah, like especially the Greek ones. Like you're saying, that Christian religion, it's not as.
I'd say it's maybe not as interesting.
Yeah, whereas this is just mad stories, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's half of them? Like, where do you even come up with half of these stuff?
Exactly. Do you know what? I think Christianity's more on the nose.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's the story of what is it? Where the Good Samaritan or something, where the guy is like they walk past him. When he needs help and they don't help him.
Yeah.
And then
I remember that,
they end up getting like chastised by Jesus or whoever it was. That's sort of very on the nose. You can't really miss the meaning in that.
Yeah, it's straight up, isn't it?
Yeah, which it is a story, but it's not told in the same way like the Greek. Yeah. The Greek mythology is told, I don't think.
These are like, you can take all the stuff from it, can't you?
Yeah.
Or you could just laugh at it.
Yeah.
You don't have to take a fucking meaning from it. You could just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, just enjoy it. Some of the creatures and things like that, like there's no centaurs as far as I'm aware, and like
I'm gonna Google actually some of them. You got like cyclopses, centaurs.
Yeah, I mean some of
they're crazy stuff then to be thinking of.
I think one of the first sets of like creatures that you meet when you either read in Mythos or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's like some sort of rock throwing.
Like just launching rocks around.
Rock throwing creatures.
Yeah. And they're like the early ones.
Yeah. So there's but there's like what else was there? There was the Cyclops and the.
So this centaur, it says, was it was a creature from Greek mythology with the upper body of a human and the lower body and legs of a horse.
Yeah.
Imagine if they were the rapists. Rather than the
I don't
the goat
think
man.
about that. That's horrendous.
And the abilities they possess was human intelligence and speech. Yeah, that's like it. What's like the? Because these creatures don't have. I can't see like these being a symbol of stuff, can't they? They're just like fucking crazy. They're just people coming up while high.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these. Oh, here we go. Let me just try and find the pronunciation for this one because it is ridiculously hard.
Seems like you've been better than me though this episode.
Yeah, I feel like the ones we have had so far haven't been too bad, but yeah. I want to try and find the exact right thing for this. Oh, do you know what? I'll just go for it because I can't find it.
Go on.
So the Hecaton Keres.
What a name.
It
like a metal album or something.
I know, yeah. Translates to 100-handed ones. Basically, they were 3 monstrous giants of enormous size and strength, each with 50 heads and 100 arms.
Like a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You combine all 3 of them to make the Hecaton Keres White Dragon or something.
What the fuck?
So basically, they were the offspring of. So I was right before Uranus, who's the sky, and Gaia, who's the earth, and they were the ones who helped Zeus overthrow the Titans.
Oh,
so they were the ones who helped fight in the.
And what were they? 50
50-headed and 100 arms.
Yeah, so you're doing some damage with a build like that.
Oh yeah. So they had some serious stopping power in this army. There was the Hecaton Keres, who hurled stones. The Cyclops forged for Zeus's iconic thunderbolt.
Oh yeah, I've got the Cyclops here. It says there was the Cyclops are giant one-eyed creatures. 3 groups of Cyclopses can be distinguished. There's the Hesiod's, Theogony, and the Cyclopses.
Oh yeah.
They're the 3 brothers who they made Zeus's weapon, the thunderbolt.
Yeah.
But they were the 3 types. Yeah, and they were in the army.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, they were helping against the Titans.
Fucking think of like kids growing up, like taking them stories in.
I know, yeah.
You're fucking taking in fucking battles like that. Imagine like going to bed and you just thinking about all these fucking creatures fighting.
I know.
That's just ridiculous.
Don't go in them woods. The Hecaton Keres will get you.
Yeah, you'll see 50 heads.
I know, yeah. I mean, that's a lot more picturesque, a lot more like vivid and imaginative than the Good Samaritan.
I know, yeah. Like what's like some fucking Christian stuff, like an angel.
Angels, demons. I suppose demons, but the demons have been through like all sorts of mythology. Yeah. Gargoyles, that sort of thing. God. They're interesting.
Yeah, I think. What I want to look at some more. What's some other? What's that? Like the god with like this snakes on her head?
Medusa. So
when I think of that, it's quite vivid in my head when I think about her.
Yeah, I think the story of that was Medusa was really beautiful, wasn't she? Originally, I think she was the object of like everyone's desire, and I think one of the gods or goddesses got jealous.
Pan was going crazy.
Yeah, Pan would have been off his head. And so I think one of them got jealous and ended up cursing her, and like basically making her into this sort of like if anyone looked at her, they'd turn to stone, and she had snakes for her.
There's the snakes again. Snakes popping up.
Yeah, evil.
Medusa. So Medusa in Greek mythology, also called Gorgo.
Yeah,
one of the Gorgons. What the hell are these? What Gorg? I've heard of that name before.
I don't know whether Gorgons. I think there was more than one of these sort of creatures.
I think it said 3. There was 3 different type Gorgons. Yeah, there's so much stuff here.
Yeah.
A Gorgon is a creature in Greek mythology. Gorgons occur in the earliest examples of Greek literature. While descriptions of Gorgons vary, the term most commonly refers to 3 sisters who are described as having hair made of living venomous snakes and horrifying visages.
Yeah. That
turned those who beheld them to stone.
Yeah, so it wasn't just Medusa, but for whatever reason, Medusa is the most famous of...
Yeah, there was Stheno.
See, I haven't heard of that.
Stheno. Do you want me to just spell them out for you?
No, you have to try. No. I'd try
Euryale and Medusa.
Yeah.
They're the 3. And there's loads of pictures here that I'm looking at. If any listeners want to... The listeners should actually Google all these people that are on about these fucking characters.
I was going to say, yeah. Probably already know the pronunciations better than we do, but...
So yeah, I definitely heard about the Gorgons. I don't know where though.
Gorgon City.
Gorgon City, yeah.
Gorgonzola.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. God, I bet you could just like go on all day about these fucking creatures.
That's the crazy thing, isn't it? There's so much like mythology out there.
Yeah.
Whether it's Greek, I mean, we haven't really touched on Norse all that much.
I think we'll have to do another episode.
I was going to say, I think like Greek, you could do at least 10 episodes on Greek mythology. There's so much to talk about, so trying to get it all in one probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, well, we've done an hour and 48 there.
Oh, bloody hell, that's gone quick. To be fair,
we definitely would have to do another episode.
Yeah,
you'd have to come in and do the fucking Norse mythology.
I'd have to swat up on me Norse mythology first. Yeah.
But yeah, and, I think that's everything for me on the on ancient Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else?
No, I've butchered enough.
Yeah.
Ancient Greek for the last hour and 48 minutes.
We've maxed out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that'll do me. To be fair, I only came with like the one story and then a few sort of few facts.
You basically you seem like a historian of Greek mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name was. But and then I can't really remember the story. But I know there was some sort of snakes involved.
That's what we want.
Yeah, figure it out for yourselves.
Yeah, that's I feel like I want to go and play God of War now.
Oh, what game that is? They're making a new one, aren't they?
Are they?
I think so.
Wait, didn't they do a Norse one?
Yeah, I've played that one. That's the one I played.
I think you were talking about that, actually.
Good.
Yeah, doing fucking crossovers there.
I know.
Crossovers.
Yeah. That is a class game. That
is it good?
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I remember God of War 3. That was ridiculously good.
Was that like PS3?
I think it was on PS. And then there's God of War Ascension, the one after.
I haven't played it. To be honest, the only one I've played is this latest one.
The Viking one.
Yeah, which is class.
I bet you that just makes you want to just fucking raid fucking towns with a big axe.
Oh, yeah.
After playing it.
Well, to be honest, no spoilers for anyone who's going to play the game.
Yeah.
But it's actually like that because Kratos is still Greek, you're sort of plagued by these annoying Norse gods who are causing you a lot of problems. So you don't really think very highly of them while you're playing it.
Yeah.
They're your enemy.
Yeah, so I think maybe, you played it, I'll have to play it.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back.
And then we'll do base everything.
We'll do our Norse episode.
Yeah, just based purely off that.
Yeah.
Well, we watched Troy, and then we played God of War.
Which one is it? What's it called? That one, the God of War.
I don't know that it's just like 4.
Is it? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I might try.
That might be wrong.
I might try and play it. You know.
It's good. It's worth it.
Okay, so shall we call it at that?
Yeah, I feel like that was.
That's been a solid blast. So I hope you guys who are listening have enjoyed.
Yeah.
Fucking Greek mythology. I hope you're not going to war now.
I know, yeah.
Fucking rolling wooden horses into siege cities.
Or if you do, at least document it so that it can be told.
Yeah.
In another, however many years by two other random people
to
on a podcast.
It.
Yeah. Can be mistold again.
All right, so we'll call it that. So hopefully next week Callum will be back. He won't be having the sniffles.
No, yeah. Get over it.
Yeah.
Pull himself together.
Should have recovered. I haven't got a topic for next week, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you come back. Well, we've got one of the episodes very soon. We're going to have a return of Charles. He's coming back.
Nice.
He's coming back from York, so we'll have a good catch up. But definitely, we'll have to have the Norse mythology at some point too. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, I'll call it that. This was brought to you by Merdley Productions.